Well, I think we've started here. How are you? This is Bret Primack, aka the Jazz Video Guy. I have not done a live stream in a long time. In fact, I've been relatively inactive on YouTube for the past year or so, and on Facebook. Uh, Facebook, I stopped 6 months ago. YouTube, I just haven't been posting very much. But, excuse me, here I am again. I have returned, and several reasons that I've returned. First of all, in these highly negative times, I want to be a force for good. I want to spread positive energy to the world. What better way to do that than to post jazz videos and other assorted content of a interesting, positive nature? So you can experience that. I'm glad to say that the response to my return has been very positive. Facebook, I grew tired of because of my inability to censor my feelings about the current situation in the United States. And I ended up in Facebook jail many times. So about 6 months ago, I said, fuck it. I just don't want to get involved with that anymore. But I found that I kind of miss my friends and decided to go back. And now I'm back on Facebook. Tomorrow, which is Monday, July 14th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be doing a live stream with my friend Sue Terry. Sue is a saxophonist, a composer. She's a teacher. She's a writer who's done a number of books. We're going to be talking about her work. She came up in Hartford, Connecticut, which was also my birthplace. She's a little bit younger than me. And she studied with Jackie McLean and came to New York and started working with Clifford Jordan and Walter Bishop and a lot of people. And has had a really interesting career in music. So I'm going to talk to Sue about her life in jazz. Perhaps Jazz Maverick is a good way to describe that. And also a new book that she's written that we'll get into. So that's tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be streamed on YouTube, Facebook, and to my Substack subscribers. One of the things I've been doing since I minimized my activity in social media, I've been working on a blog. Actually, I've had the blog for 2 years now, almost 2 years, called Syncopated Justice, which I really enjoy. I love to do it. And there's no censorship. I can write about whatever I want. And you can access it for free. Some people want to help me with my work, support me. They pay for it, but you don't have to pay for it. And I like the idea that my creativity is not affected by algorithms, which here on Facebook, this is on Facebook in a moment, but on YouTube, algorithms rule the world, as they do in many other aspects of my life. Another reason I wanted to come back to social media, I've been writing a couple of books, and I am self-publishing on Amazon. They'll be available as Kindle ebooks, Amazon print on demand, and also as audiobooks. I have to do all the marketing myself, all my publicity. I'm a what's the word I'm looking for? A one-man band. I always have been. And also, I'm a pariah of sorts. That's left over from my days on my blog, Bird Lives, back in 1997. Wow, that's a long time ago. That's when I railed against the injustices of the music industry as the pariah. And a lot of people loved what I did, and some people in the music business didn't. In fact, there are people today who still won't speak to me, although I'm now living in Mexico and don't have a lot of contact with the music industry. I have some friends that I'm still in touch with. One of the good things about getting back on social media is getting back in contact with a lot of people. My two books. One, John Coltrane's Spiritual Odyssey, a multimedia biography. John Coltrane is one of the people, one of the creators, one of the incredible artists that I have so much respect for, such an inspiration. Has been so much a part of my life for so many years. And for reasons that I'll talk about another time, I decided to write a book about him. But it's a different kind of book. First of all, it's not your standard jazz biography. My good friend, Louis Porter, Coltrane scholar, has written the definitive jazz biography of John Coltrane, and he continues to update that on his excellent blog. And several other people have done Coltrane biographies. This, however, focuses on Coltrane's spirituality, which was a really important part of his life and really affected his music. And, excuse me, rainy season here, a lot of allergies and colds happening. This is a multimedia biography. On Kindle, there will be links, and in the print version, there will be QR codes so that you can access the music, you can listen to the music, you can watch the videos while you read the book. And I think that's really important because Coltrane was one of the great musicians of all time. If you can read about him, why not listen to him at the same time? I'll talk more about that in a future video. That's coming out on September 23rd. And I'll be producing a lot of videos to promote that. And the first week that the book is on sale, the Kindle version will be free. I want people to download it. And success on Amazon, talk about algorithms, depends on getting Amazon to recommend what you're doing, and the algorithm decides whether or not to do that based on the reviews that you get on Amazon. As we know, Amazon is a site that, since its inception, has counted on user reviews to help sell things. When you go to buy something on Amazon, not uncommon for you, well, what do other people say about it? Is this a good product? So I have a goal to get 100 organic reviews in the first month on Amazon, in the Kindle store, and on demand. And I'm hoping that through my Jazz Video Guy audience and on Facebook, and I'm also planning on posting videos on Instagram and TikTok, I'll be able to get people to download the book and write about it. So the first week it'll be free. The second week it will be 99 cents. Actually, the next couple of weeks it'll be 99 cents. And after that, the regular price, which is $9.99. I'll be talking more about the book, and there'll be all kinds of information about it. The second book I'm doing, not sure of the publication date, is something called Letters from the Afterlife. About a year ago, around my 75th birthday, I was thinking about my future. As we know, this life is temporary. I really don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. I'm lucky. I'm in pretty good health. But who the fuck knows? You can't predict these things. We never know. I've survived cancer and open heart surgery. And, excuse me, I feel very lucky to be here. I live in Mexico. I moved to Mexico 3 years ago. It's a wonderful place to live. There's no acrimony here. I'm part of a wonderful community of expats and Mexicans and bugs, and I dig it. I mean, let me show you my backyard here. I mean, I am very lucky. I'm living in a very cool place. And I would say, since I've been here, I've been very productive, done a lot of writing with my blog. And so this Letters from the Afterlife, and thinking about, geez, I'm not going to be here forever. What happens when we die? Because eventually that's going to happen. Something we don't know. What does happen when we die? I have a friend, good friend of mine named Ron Mann, who thinks that it's like a radio. It's like a tube radio. Once you pull out the electricity, the lights, the tubes go off. That's it. There's nothing. Other people say, hey, somehow the spirit continues. Now, I'm a Buddhist, and I believe in reincarnation. And I think that there is an afterlife. And back in the 60s and early 70s, during the psychedelic era, when I used to take acid from time to time, which I really liked, can't get acid anymore. Now I occasionally do mushrooms. Timothy Leary and Ram Dass wrote a book based on it was a manual for what to do during a psychedelic experience based on a Tibetan Buddhist book called The Book of the Dead. And in the Tibetan Book of the Dead, there is a space in between death and reincarnation and afterlife, where it lasts for 49 days, where you go and your spirit, however you call that, looks at your life, what you did, you think about yourself, where am I going, what did I fuck up, what did I do right, and you maybe you move to reincarnation, or maybe you move to the light, to eternity, to nirvana. So that concept kind of fascinated me. And I had this idea, why don't I write a series of letters from people who are in the bardo, writing to today's world about how they're examining their lives, what they did, what they didn't do, what they did right, what they did wrong, and perhaps their thoughts on what's happening in the world today. So I've put together a book of letters from a wide cross-section of people. I mean, Albert Einstein, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Socrates, Cleopatra, Frida Kahlo. I'm all over the place. Picasso, Malcolm X. And I plan on publishing this book. Actually, I plan on doing it as a series of books on Kindle and Amazon on demand. And as soon as I finalize the Coltrane book, which I'm in the process of doing right now, and making the videos, which I'm going to be making, I have to make 60 videos, short ones, 1 to 2 minutes, to help publicize the book, get the word out, that I'll be posting starting a week before the book's publication in September to 4 social media sites: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. Although I just heard today that TikTok has been sold to Oracle and will be developing an American app called Meta. I don't know if Facebook is involved with that, to more control the content with a direct tie to the U.S. government. So everything you put on TikTok will be monitored by the government. Because Trump was involved with the sale of TikTok. I guess European TikTok stays the same, run by a Chinese company. That's what I heard today. You never know with this stuff. Now, I'm not seeing any comments here. I'm just going to go on my laptop here to my YouTube channel and see if anybody is making any comments. I have not used the live stream for a while. So let me see if I can get on here and see where I am. Sometimes YouTube this technology can be really confusing. Let's see here. Video shorts, scheduled. I don't know if I can find myself on here. I don't want to devote too much time to that. It's kind of boring to watch me looking at a screen here. Where is the video? The live video here. Let me come in another way. Rotate device. Okay, hold on. I'll get there. I think, I hope. I've been using YouTube. I've been producing content on YouTube as the jazz video guy since 2006. And boy, has it changed. And boy, have I changed. Let me see. History. Where am I here? My videos. Live. I can't find it. I apologize. I like to interact with my audience with questions, but not today. Next time, though. But I like doing live streams. I'll do more of them when I have something interesting to say. Of course, I always have something to say, which is why I create. So 2 books coming out, the John Coltrane biography, multimedia biography, which I have written very quickly. Actually, I wrote the book in 3 months. And the way that I was able to do that is using AI. Now, AI didn't write the book for me, but I was able to do research using AI. In fact, the impetus for the book was ChatGPT has something called deep research, where you can ask for information on a particular topic, and ChatGPT goes onto the web, all these different sources, and produces, a report within about 5 minutes. What topic did I search for? I searched for Coltrane spirituality, something I'm interested in. And in 5 minutes, I had a 25-page document from all these different sources about Coltrane's spirituality. I said, this is very interesting. Why don't I write a book? I've written 2 other books. The Ben Hecht Show back in 1994, in conjunction with a play that I wrote about Ben Hecht called The Pariah. And also in 2004, I wrote a book called How to Make It Big in the New Music Biz. Once again, that I self-published, but at that time, much more difficult, really didn't happen. Now with Amazon and Kindle, much easier to self-publish a book if you are willing to take the time to, is this the comment section? No, it's not. Take the time to actually promote it, which I plan on doing. What's the matter with my glasses? Okay. So I lost my train of thought. It sometimes happens here in a spontaneous discussion. Let's see here. There we go. It's got some new specs. Anyway, 60 videos to promote the book. Oh, so I wrote the book very quickly because in addition to serving as a research tool, Claude and ChatGPT are fantastic editors. What I would do is I would write a chapter for the book, upload it, and ask for feedback. And once I uploaded the file with the chapter, I received feedback within 20 seconds. I mean, really detailed, really good feedback. So rewriting happened very quickly. With traditional book publishing, which has changed a lot, some people are still in the publishing mode. My dear friend Mark Myers, who does Jazz Wax, writes a book every few years. He's got a publisher, and they print and distribute the book, and they have a publicity team. They put him on TV shows, and he's done really well with that. And he has an editor who reads the book and they go back and forth. I did not have an editor. AI was my editor, which proved to be very effective. And I was able to write a very comprehensive book in 3 months. And I'll look forward to your comments. I think that people will dig it. There's a lot of good information. There's a lot of new information. I'm going to take my glasses off. I don't like to show my eye bags here. 76, almost, I'm going to be 76 in a couple of weeks here. This is what the result of aging. I could get plastic surgery and end up like this, but no, that's not for me. I don't want to do that. I'm old. What can I tell you, friends? In the parlance of my people, I'm an alta cocker, but I'm a survivor. And I could have never expected 5 or 6 years ago that I'd be living in Guanajuato, Mexico, and doing what I do. And I met my soulmate, Sherry, in 2020. Couldn't have predicted that. Most people in their later years, their activity goes down, and many people retire. I'm actually busier than I've ever been. I'm happier. I'm healthier. I'm living in a really cool place. And I hope to go on as long as I can here. But one never knows. So I'm really excited about the Coltrane book. I've learned a lot. I picked up some new information that will be revealed that I received from Lewis Porter. Lewis, the Coltrane scholar, whose blog, I'll leave a URL here in the description, is always uncovering new facts, new information about Coltrane. So I'm in the process of putting some of that into the book and also on my blog. And that's interesting. I think you'll find that interesting. And one of the things about doing a book like this about Coltrane, I've studied Coltrane extensively since I got into his music in 1969. I was a jazz listener when I was a kid. Coltrane was beyond me. But on a psilocybin trip one night in 1969, I heard it for the first time and changed my life completely. I've been a heavy Coltrane fan, listener ever since then. Tremendous source of inspiration. His life is very interesting. Unfortunately, he left us much, much too soon at the age of 40. But the deeper you get into his life, the more you learn about him, the more I have learned about him. The closer I feel, the more I understand him and his music. And that's what the book is about, the spiritual nature of his life. As we know, one of his greatest recordings is A Love Supreme, based on his experience, his spiritual experience in 1957 when he went cold turkey, breaking his heroin addiction after Miles fired him. When Miles formed his first great quintet with Coltrane and Red Garland and Paul Chambers and Philly Joe Jones in 1955, incredible group. But Coltrane was strung out, and Miles eventually couldn't take it anymore. By then, Miles had gotten straight, and one night at the 5 spot, he fired him. Coltrane went back to Philadelphia. He got himself together. That's when he really got into a spiritual thing. And that's when he had the inspiration to write A Love Supreme, which he ended up recording in 1964. And his music definitely took a much more spiritual direction after that. So we talk about that in the book. And if you listen to his music, you'll hear that as well. Certainly, one of the advantages of doing a multimedia book about Coltrane, there's a lot of Coltrane on YouTube, a tremendous amount. All of Coltrane's recordings, a lot of bootleg recordings. There isn't a lot of video, but there is video of Coltrane performing in different situations at different times with Dalfi, one of his collaborators in the mid-'60s, early '60s, when they, after Live at the Village Vanguard was released, Coltrane and Dalfi faced a firestorm of criticism. John Tyne in Downbeat magazine called them anti-jazz. So much so that Downbeat had to publish an article called John Coltrane and Eric Dalfi Answer Their Critics. that subsided. Bob Thiel did a really hip thing. He said, let me record Coltrane in a different context. The three albums, Ballads, Duke Ellington and John Coltrane, and Johnny Hartman and John Coltrane, presented a different side of John Coltrane. But after A Love Supreme, Coltrane went in an entirely different direction. Unfortunately, Dolphy and Coltrane were only together for a couple of years, and Dolphy, who was very close to Coltrane, died in '64. But in '65, with the classic quartet with McCoy and Jimmy Garrison and Elvin Jones, his music began to take a very different direction, particularly with the recording Transition. And then when Pharoah Sanders joined the band, Meditations. And then McCoy and Elvin left, Alice Coltrane, and Rashid Ali, with Jimmy still on bass. The music, more free jazz. They recorded Ascension. The final recordings, like Live in Seattle, Expressions, Stellar Regions, Interstellar Space. A lot of people can't get into those. And that was the second round of extreme criticism of people who were fans shying away from him. And it was difficult to deal with. Didn't stop him, though. I know for a fact that it bothered him. How could it not bother him? But it didn't stop him from pursuing the path that he was on. And unfortunately, his health failed at the age of 40, liver cancer. He's out of here. But he dropped his body, but he is still with us. More and more people are into Coltrane. It's interesting because the record business, the music industry has changed so much with the advent of streaming in 2012. That's how most people get their music. There's a lot of Coltrane on YouTube. And there's a lot of jazz and a lot of Coltrane on TikTok. TikTok, not a lot of archival jazz. It's a lot of musicians trying to get their music out there, which is quite interesting. Because artists are always trying to find new ways to promote their music. So I'm going to wrap up this return visit here. Look forward to seeing those of you who can join us tomorrow at 1 p.m. New York time for my live stream with Sue Terry, a very, very interesting woman who, like me, is an expat who lives in Ecuador and the Andes. We'll talk about her new book and jazz activity in Ecuador, some of the things that she's doing on there. And we will be able to take your questions. Although the stream will be on Facebook, you won't be able to ask questions or participate on there. But if you come onto the YouTube stream, you will. I'll take some allergy medicine before tomorrow's stream so I won't be coughing. Very distracting. I want to thank everyone for joining me today and joining me on the rebroadcast of this event in the next day or so on Facebook and YouTube. And I want to thank everyone for your support, even though I haven't been posting consistently on YouTube for a while. I still get 100,000 views a month. I have 2,500 videos on there. And lately, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, as I've started to post again, I'm getting a lot more views. There's a lot of people, new viewers and old friends who still watch jazz videos on YouTube. And the church bells ring. A church right around the corner here in Guanajuato. I don't know if this is a call to action. It's not Conelrad, 640, 1240, nuclear attack on the way, I hope. No, just kidding. Hey, Bret, that's nothing to joke about. Well, for me, everything is a call for humor. Thanks so much. I'll see you soon. Stay healthy, stay positive, and please keep listening to jazz. And if you're a musician, keep playing jazz. How do I end the stream? My stream does not want to end. Oi. Technology. It's a sign from God that I should continue. Problem is I have nothing else to say here. Okay, let's try it again. Okay.